is going on? Did you turn off your camera? Hello?
Hello?
Michael Alle here.
Vasilian from Mad Lions here.
This is Gate from Copenhagen. Hey, it's Kerrigan.
Jacob here from 100 Thieves.
Tobias from Copenhagen.
Down here from Heroic.
Nitro from Louisiana.
Hey, Gratisfaction here.
Hey, it's Shus from Silkeborg.
Please tune in and cheer for us.
We're gonna show you how good we are in this tournament. You can believe us.
Stay home and watch some Counter-Strike.
And I hope you guys all enjoy watching DreamHack Masters.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Now you're disconnected again.
DreamHack Masters Spring 2020 carries on, and we will carry along with it. Things have already started to go in an uncharacteristic fashion here, as Astralis did not top their group of A. We currently find ourselves in Group B, though. Complexity, Big, Mad Lions, and Mouse Sports all inside of this group. We're ready to lock in a pre-show for you all so that you know what's going on here, what's to expect here on this great day of Counter-Strike. And of course, enjoying this Counter-Strike, I wouldn't be alone, but you're going to meet my guest here in a second because I am ready to raise the roof. Let's get today's start. Wow. No, you guys don't. Never mind. All right. Anyway, so we've got Vendetta, we've got Pimp, and they're not in the server. Moreover, they don't really belong in the server. They belong with me here on the analyst desk. Here for what is a playhouse of sorts. We're ready to start walking you into what is today's DreamHack Masters matchups, and moreover, what to expect. Guys, did you get some good sleep? Did you rest well last night?
Yes, Trace. I slept like a baby.
Yeah, no, I can't really say the same. I had a bit of a rough night. Sun comes up at like 3:30 here, so I mean, if I'm not asleep by 2, I'm pretty much doomed.
You shouldn't complain. I have a whole construction going on outside of my window, so they start at 7 a.m. every morning, every day, even on holidays. So I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's definitely not pleasant.
Well, that just brings me to my next question, Jacob. What are they building over there? What is the, what are they building on that maybe Mouse Sports didn't build on yesterday?
A foundation, I think, first and foremost. That's probably the biggest problem. I actually think that they're doing a foundation check right now. Mouse Sports should probably do the same, right? Because it's looking quite abysmal at the moment. They are not playing well. They are not performing up to the level we expect them to. And to be completely honest, I'm kind of afraid that Kerrigan is running into the same tendency we saw in FaZe Clan and Astralis when he lost control over the team and when he lost control over the project. I don't hope that's the case, but it's starting to look like it more and more by every time we can play.
And, I think you're onto something there, but it's honestly, how do we put our finger on exactly what that is? And in case you're not caught up to speed, Mouse Sports take a big loss yesterday, and I do mean big. 22-20 on the first map of Nuke, 14-16 on the second map of Vertigo. But then, here's the real kicker. We're looking at Dust 2 highlights right now. You see those 2 rounds that Mouse Sports have? That's all they're going to get. It ends out 16-2. That's all she wrote. So, really big loss here.
Yeah, I know, a massive one, and I guess partly it's cool to see because we were impressed by what Big were able to deliver, but at the same time we're pretty disappointed in what we've been able to see from Mouse Sports, and I kind of lean the same direction as Jacob as well in terms of being a little bit afraid because Kerrigan's teams have had a bit of a trend to them, just historically speaking. The one thing that I think is a bit of an a positive for them here is the fact that this is more or less a handpicked team from Kerrigan's side. So I think there's less of a chance that he might, lose the wardrobe, as they say, and basically not be trusted in his calls and whatnot as they go forward. So I'm still hopeful, but it's really weird to see them have like this significant of a fall from grace as they've had up to this point.
Yeah, which would, I don't know. It's hard to kind of describe, even put in words. And Jacob, can you put a bow on it? Can you just summarize Mousesports real quick in maybe like 1 or 2 sentences?
Yeah, a team that is struggling massively to find their footing right now. A team that has to get on the right track again, because they can be one of the best, but as it is right now, they're not even a top 5, top 10 team as they're playing.
Interesting stuff. Well, speaking of top players, top choices, and all that, we do have some breaking news as of last night that we are not going to be seeing Olaf Meister taking place in any FaZe Clan matchups in the near future. And you can read the release right here. It's all kind of sad. But the truth is this. Olaf has carried a lineage. He's carried history with him in his pocket. Little did he know he would find himself situated where he is now after a decade of play. He has been one of those that's been a consideration for being the GOAT. And I don't know that there's anyone out there that can refute that. No, I'll let you try, though.
I mean, he's definitely in the conversation. You can't really deny that. Olaf Meister through 2015 is some of the greatest individual performances we've seen out of any player and over any iteration of Counter-Strike. I don't think there's anything to kind of like tuck under a carpet or anything like that he hasn't been performing to that level for quite some time. But again, he's mentioning the fact that he's had motivation problems and whatnot. And one of the hardest things to actually do in this game to compete at a top level is actually being able to perform when you don't have a motivation to necessarily put in the extra hours that you might need to get back to the level. So I think overall, a pause might be needed. He needs just to get away from Counter-Strike for a while and do his own thing. And maybe he comes back, maybe not. If he doesn't, he'll still have one of the most fantastic careers to look back on.
And you Jacob, I think you could summarize this best, but I just want to say that you can't spell Olaf without an F, which I do think is what we need in chat right about now. So, Jacob, what do you got for us describing this legend of the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a player that has been playing at a very high level throughout the entirety of Counter-Strike almost. I think he is in the conversation for being one of the greatest players to ever touch the game. Obviously, the past 2-3 years, it hasn't been as good, right? It's been rather disappointing, and I think for Olaf Meister's sake and for his own good, I think it's great that he takes a break now. Also looking at his history, right? He did have a period in FaZe Clan, I believe it was 2 years ago, when he was out for almost half a year to a year. So it's not the first time he's going to take this break. Obviously, back then we didn't know what was going on, and there was some personal stuff that he had to take care of. And it's always great to see players be proactive in that sense and make sure they stay sane and keep a healthy life outside of the server as well. That being said, though, I am very much afraid that this is the last we're ever going to see to Olaf Meister on a server. I think he's done for now, and he goes down as one of the greatest players, but he also goes out with a performance that he can't be satisfied with, and that's a shame he didn't end out with a bang, sort of.
Well, if you read the terminology there, it's not completely over. I mean, he has left a little bit of a door open for himself, which is, rightful. I would understand that. I get that. Now, I would be not disappointed if I loaded up and saw that Olaf had joined a pro Valorant team, but you guys get the sentiment, right? Moving along swiftly from that conversation, we need to start talking about some of the bigger plays, some of the more monstrous plays. Hell, how about even the monster moments, the top 5 of them so far from the DreamHack Master Spring 2020?
When you play as FaZe, don't think about winning. You just think about kicking their ass.
They will have a reinvestment. The device's orb gone immediately. Kenny is quick. He's not even looking at them, and he's still firing off kills. Oh my! They're made to look like tools by Kenny S.
Go, go, go! Hear us. We shall be victorious.
Get out! Get out of Rob T2!
Please, the nades, the gunfire now. Chaos trying to push them up the B side. They've done a good job of getting past the windows, and then they wrap back round, but a lead. He comes out now. And Steel, he's looking for the ace. The 1v2 clutch, gun down twist. He knows that he's close. He has the smoke still to play around here, so he can make it all in question. Oh, Steel!
The gang has smoked off in mid, but the B players are holding their ground, at least right now, minimum, and that's something for Mousesports to work with. He's retrieved an M4. I don't think it's got any ammo left in it, so he's got to get this done with the Deagle, and he does find the first man in. He just checked, and yeah, see another for Rops, and the Deagle might be all it takes! Rops! What in God's name is that?
He's got the AK swapped over. He's got the smoke and the flash to try and...
your monster moments, obviously brought to you by Monster Energy. Of course, they are keeping us fueled up and ready to go here, gassed up even, as we start to take a look at what is to come today. Today, full of Counter-Strike, but more importantly, let's kind of reflect a little bit more on the past year with you two. I want to talk about some standout moments, standout matches, standout anything that you've got from the Masters Spring 2020.
Oh, I think the G2 game against Heroic stands out to me. We saw it in one of the first days when Heroic basically should have won Mirage, failing to defuse the bomb despite having a kit on one of the players. You can definitely go and YouTube it, Google it, see how that happened. I think that game stands out because G2, they ended up winning the entire group after beating Astralis the day after. Had they lost that one round with that one bomb defuse, Heroic should have won. They would have been out even before facing Astralis. So that gets to show how close these teams are. Sometimes it's basically one round that determines whether you're out of the tournament or finish the group in first place. So kind of exciting to follow their path.
Yeah, it's super around. It's super weird around here, Halvor, especially when you consider how these groups have shaped up thus far. We already know what's gone on within Astralis, how G2 have toppled Group A, but now we have an actual battle on our hands. We're going to look at the standings across the board, but as you can see, Group A wrapped up. Group B, that's one to focus on now currently, as this is the last day of play, but also you see C and D down there. What are some of the teams that we're excited to see, aside from FaZe Clan, out of C and D?
I mean, all of them? Is that a fair answer? I think
no, actually, it's not.
No? Okay, if I have to pick and choose, I'm probably more excited, or the most excited about the teams in Group D. Na'Vi didn't deliver to expected the level going through their road to Rio in the CIS region. I think ENCE obviously is just, an interesting prospect considering they're running a 6-man lineup, and NIP with a new lineup, right? Bringing Hampus in for Lekro, that's something that shocked a lot of people. I'm curious to see if that's something that has necessarily been planned out properly, or if this is going to lead to a bit of a chaos and a bit of a downturn in form from a team that's been performing really well.
Yeah, interesting, I suppose, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one. North America has some groups themselves. Don't wow me, boy. Group A and Group B are the only wows that I need. I'm talking about how we haven't even kicked off Group B yet, but Furia in control of Group A, and it's MIBR that takes the loss last night to Liquid, keeping Liquid from going under, I think.
Yes, and I think that's the name of the game right now. We see MIBR, we see Liquid, two of the most prominent teams within the NA region, struggling to even make it out of the groups, right? MIBR are out of the tournament officially as it stands right now, I believe. So it's crazy to see the Liquid and MIBR can struggle so much in an environment right now, whereas I believe it was Rush who said it yesterday that there's no tier 2, tier 3 scene left in NA. Everyone is leaving towards a game that hasn't been announced yet, Valorant, and it seems like a mess over there, and yet Liquid and MIBR still can't find the footing within that scene. It's crazy to think about, and it's crazy to see.
Also crazier when you consider all the roster changes therein and everything that has to be adjusted. Now, don't adjust your dial. I want to actually thank some people since we have this opportunity. And I'm going to get help from Halvor and Jacob because they love to do this so much. It's been a while since the three of us have donned a desk together. And I don't mean just inside of DreamHack. I'm talking about all the way back to the Copenhagen days. I just want to say thank you to all the people who made this possible. As you can see below, there are sponsors listed. Now, yesterday you chose Intel. Today, I'm not going to say you have to choose another one, but I'm going to choose Intel for you alongside, of course, Corsair, Monster, DTS, AT&T, and Betway. So, who do you guys got?
I mean, I can't shy away from what I've already picked, I'm true to my cause, so I'm all about Corsair, man. Just check out the headset.
Oh, look at him take it off. Oh, it's all shiny and stuff.
Got light in it, yeah.
Gotta get the logo in there.
It's that studio lighting inside of your apartment.
Oh yeah, no, it's brilliant.
Jacob, I want to head over to the schedule, and I want you to talk us through that. I think that's a great thing for you to kind of focus on, if you will, as today's matches are going to be right in front of us. Jacob, please take it away.
We got some bangers coming up, right? Big taking on Complexity. They're basically fighting for who's going to be number 1 and who's going to be number 2. Both of them are currently sitting at a 2-0 record and been playing some solid Counter-Strike. Mousesports against Mad Lions, two teams who are struggling a little bit. Mousesports obviously in a crisis right now. I think that's fair to say. Whereas for Mad Lions, we don't really know where to put them as they come off a break from the Flashpoint victory they had against MIBR. Furia taking on Chaos. That's going to be an interesting one as well. I think Furia is in a good position to win that group, win out, all 3 matches. Chaos, they're looking a little bit hot and cold at the moment. So I think we have some good matchups. If I had to pick one, I'd definitely go for the Mousesports Mad Lions. There's a lot of stake in that one. Two teams who are bleeding.
And, Halvor, for us, I think it's like you're hot and then you're cold and then you're yes and then you're no and then you're up and then you're down. Oh, wait, that's a break. We got to go. We'll be right back, everybody. We're going to come back with the first best of 3 of the day. The hype train will be here. It will not be on any other channels. It doesn't even matter where you find yourself. Close that, exit out, because we'll be right back with Big taking on Complexity for the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020.